All right, we've decided the question. The question was, what are, to remind us, what are our sales at each location? We went into and looked at the data definitions, and we looked at our sales file specifically, and we decided, looking at our sales file, that we wanted store and we wanted sales quantity, sales dollars. Again, this is a simple question, but you still need to, and I still am looking for you to articulate the logic. So let's create a simple logic here. Right? You can do this flowchart, write it out. However, documentation, I'm not looking for a specific documentation as long as it is clear and that an uninformed person should be able to replicate exactly what your logic is. So let's articulate or document our logic. So the variables that I have store, and I have a number of stores. We'll call those X, I to X, I plus number of stores. Okay, so that is my portfolio of stores, right? I also have sales quantity and I have sales dollars. So those are the two variables that I have. Sales quantity is, I would assume, is going to be some kind of an integer. Right? Whole number, integer. From 1 to we don't know. Right? We don't know what the range of that quantity is going to be. We don't know what the mean, median, we don't know any of the information, any of the details of that. We just have an idea that it's probably an integer that goes from 1, because obviously if I sell nothing, it's not going to show up as a sale. That goes from 1 to some quantity unknown. And we also have dollars, and we'd assume that this would be a floating, some amount, some number with 2 decimal places. So some number with 2 decimal places. That goes from anywhere from 0.01 to some quantity that we don't know. We just don't know. And the logic that I want to do is I want to sum the sales quantity. So let's think about this. Sales quantity or sales dollars. So I want to get the sum of sales quantity I can spell quantity correctly. Sales quantity or sum of sales dollars for each I. Okay? All right, so this is the sum of sales quantity per I and the sum of sales dollars per I, where I goes from 1 to X, whatever the number of stores are. Right? And I'm going to put all of this into a singular report so that I will have, I'm kind of visualizing what I'm thinking this might look like. where I'm going to have store number, because when we go back to our data definitions, it seems though they've assigned a store number to each of the stores. I'm going to have a quantity, sum of a quantity. Let's make that sum of Q. And I'm going to have a sum of dollars. That's the logic. So now I've got a formula here. I want to sum this quantity by each individual I, which is the store. And I want to do that for the same thing. I want to do the same thing for dollars. Right? That's the logic. Now I can go through and use a tool or decide what tool I want to use to come up with the output, to come up with the answer. Now, maybe this is the way to document it. Maybe it's not. Maybe I need something different. A simple table might work. Maybe a graph might be better. It depends on who your decision maker is. But I want you to be able to document your logic in simple form so that anybody can understand it. Don't get too complicated when you're trying to document logic.